Sup, you beautiful bastards? Hope you're having a fantastic Tuesday. Welcome back to the DeFranco Show, and let's just jump into it. And the first thing we're going to talk about today, one of the most requested stories of the past few days, and that is, when is it too far? That's a question a lot of people have been asking since PewDiePie, aka Felix, aka one of the biggest YouTubers here on the platform, after popping up all over international news as a huge anti-Semite. PewDiePie hates the Jews, they proclaim in the title, meant to clickbait people into going to that website. So obviously I have an opinion on this, but let's explain the situation. Felix makes this video where he uses this website Fiverr where you can get people from all over the world to just do random things for you. And in the video he tries to get the people that are on Fiverr who are trying to make money to do random weird things. He gets a guy dressed up like Jesus to say his channel is better than his buddy's channel. He tries to get a girl who gets paid to play Hearthstone with people to play a different game. And then he pays these two guys who say that they will make a video where they laugh, they'll hold up a sign with anything you wrote, and then they will say one sentence. So he decides, I'm gonna write one of the most outrageous things in the world. These guys are probably gonna be offended. Nope, not the case. They actually do it. So they start laughing, they undo a scroll, and while they're laughing, they hold up a sign that says, "Death to all Jews," and then they say to the camera, subscribe to another YouTuber that PewDiePie's not a big fan of. And he includes this footage in a video that has now just under 7 million views. In it, he's obviously shocked that they actually did it. He doesn't even know if he should maybe even include it. So he posts the video, and there were a lot of people that were completely fine with the joke, but there were also a lot of people saying that he actually did have some of these feelings. If he didn't have those feelings, that it's something that's just offensive and you shouldn't say. News outlets writing, massive YouTuber laughs about death to all Jews. Also, some fallout from this video. PewDiePie has been banned from Fiverr, but also the two guys who made the video. They were banned, and they have since posted an apology video where they tried to explain they didn't understand what was on the sign.
God promise, we really don't know what the Jews meant while making the video.
And personally, watching that video, I kind of lean towards believing them. The way they're pronouncing words, it sounds like someone just trying to read something phonetically. They just copy what's written, try and make a buck. Felix has also reached out to Fiverr saying, keep me banned, but reinstate these guys. They didn't know any better. And here's what I'll say on this topic. Do I think that PewDiePie actually meant anything negative towards Jewish people? No. I feel like we live in a time where PC culture has been so prevalent that people almost get off on the idea of being able to ruin someone's career or get a comedian to apologize. And we live in a time of clickbait journalism where people can go, you know what? I bet that I can cause faux outrage by saying that, you know, PewDiePie hates Jewish people. Even though he's shocked and taken aback and just like, wow, that's not a thing that should actually exist in the world, but I'm gonna feature it because can you believe this happened? Let's angle it so that PewDiePie is the worst person in the world, so people will click on this article, will make some money, and then people will just forget that we even said it in 24 to 48 hours. It's something that Felix has said himself. It's something that I very much believe in. Context matters. Example, I could just show you this footage of PewDiePie admitting straight face that he hates. Just watch the video.
Hey guys, PewDiePie here. Death to all Jews, and you know, Hitler was right.
But that doesn't include the part of the story where that clip exists, because that was him saying how he was being portrayed in the media. And overall, I felt like that whole video was like a video version of the Jerky Boys. I don't know if I'm dating myself here. But they would prank call people in outrageous situations and try and get them to react, shocked. Like, I can't believe that you would even do this. And if someone actually went along with the craziness, even better. Look at how ridiculous people are. The reason it's included in the video is because it is wrong and it is outrageous. Although I will acknowledge that not everyone that watched that video felt that way. While researching this, I found a ton of white nationalist, neo-Nazi websites that were cheering him on. One supporter on one of those sites writing, I find his videos completely unwatchable, but if he's normalizing anti-Semitism, he's cool by me. So there were also those takeaways from the video, but also you can't control people's reaction to your words or jokes. But that is just my opinion, and this is the DeFranco Show, so I'd love to know your opinion. Do you think he was in the wrong? Do you think all the media trying to say that he actually doesn't like Jewish people, they're in the wrong? Is there a line in the sand and Felix crossed it? I'd love to know your opinions on this story. And from there, I want to share some stuff I love today. And today in Awesome, brought to you by the Sports Shirt. A shirt that says, hey, I'm excited to be at this party and our team's gonna win by more points or fewer points, however the scoring system works. Also, people rooting for the other team and or people are stupid. And if that sounds like something you want, shirts will be available for the next few days. And the first bit of awesome is self-promo awesome. If you want to see what true joy looks like, you should watch the new DeFranco fam vlog where we go to Monster Jam for the first time ever. Thought maybe Trey would like it a little bit. Wow, undersold it. And I gotta pimp out a parody of those weird Pop-Tarts commercials. And that's all I'm gonna say because I don't want to spoil it for you. Then we got a brand new trailer for Injustice 2, a sequel to a game that I love so much for 2 weeks and then just stopped playing. But that's because I'm in the horrible predicament of being better than everyone I know around me, but being so much worse than everyone online. As a big fan of the single player, I am pumped for this one. Then I gotta pimp out for my temporarily new favorite channel on YouTube, How to Dad. He recently put out a video called How to Wash a Car with a Baby, and I was actually more shocked that the video just didn't involve him rubbing the baby on the car. But then I went through his archive of videos. I'm a new fan. And then one of my favorite things ever was a music video for Young Thug that was all about how Young Thug didn't show up to set. And I gotta say, by the time the video was done, I didn't realize I had just listened to the entire song. It was fantastic. And remember, if you want to see the full versions of everything I just shared, the secret link of the day, watch the whole thing. Or anything at all. Links, as always, are in the description down below. Then let's talk about the biggest death of the day, which, oh my god, I really hope no one dies. Partly because I wouldn't wish death onto a celebrity, but also because people are gonna be like, Phil, really? You making a joke about the national treasure that is Rob Schneider? That man's a legend. You ever see the hot chick? Come on. No, the death I'm talking about today is Vine. Vine is finally dying, being shut down, and being replaced by Vine Camera. It allows you to shoot, import, edit a video, and instead of going to Vine, it just goes to Twitter. Also, a cool feature I was not aware of, I found out about it by accident 3 days ago. If you upload a video to Twitter in whatever format whatsoever, as long as it is under 6 seconds, it will repeat as if it was a Vine. And really, the only reason you might want the Vine Camera app is if the video you want to upload is less than 6 seconds and it needs editing. So there was that. Then we had the Pope in the news. This time the Pope making international headlines because he said there's really no point in going to church if you don't believe in it. The full quote being, if I say I am Catholic and go to Mass, but then don't speak with my parents, help my grandparents or the poor, go and see those who are sick, this does not prove my faith. There's no point. Those who do this are nothing but Christian parrots. Words, words, words. Or to paraphrase, the Pope said, stop being shady, you fake bitches. And to the Pope, I say, how dare you talk about most of my friends and family like that? They're not parrots, they're just encasers. I don't know if I believe, but I'm gonna go to church because maybe if it does turn out it's real, then I'm covered. I personally dislike that kind of thinking, but whatever gets you through your life. And while I was raised Catholic, but I'm not religious anymore, I do want to echo the words and tweak them from the Pope, who said Christian faith is expressed with 3 things: words, the heart, and the hands. And my tweak to that is I find a person's worth to be what they feel inside, what they say, and then what they actually do. And then the last thing I want to talk about today is the inauguration this Friday. There's obviously a lot of news around this, but something that caught my eye has to do with surveillance. I'm personally a big believer that every American has the right to film the police. And I'm also a big believer that police officers should have body cameras. There are a lot of people that don't trust the police. There are people that make claims against the police that are not true. The best way to know the truth is to have video evidence. The DC police at the inauguration will have body cameras, but they will be off unless the officer has to take action. So if the protesters are there, there's no fights breaking out, anything like that, cameras off. And the reason for that was explained by Monica Hopkins Maxwell.
Those cameras shouldn't be on. The police shouldn't be allowed to surveil First Amendment activity, and our concern around the availability of body cameras, what is done with that data, who looks at that data, what that data is used for.
So the ACLU doesn't want the police officers filming, they don't want all those protesters' faces ending up in some database, but they do want protesters to have the ability to film police.
The more people who are watching, the less incidences of collision between the police and protesters.
And while I will say I understand the concern that someone's face is going to end up in a database and it's going to be like, this is an enemy, put them on a list. I believe that the body camera should be on. If something happens, you're just going to have video evidence of after the fact. Also, everyone's going to be filming. It's not just protesters, there are supporters there. There's going to be a lot of people filming that. You're also going to have the media there filming everyone. You're in public. It seems like you have no reasonable expectation of privacy. The whole point of body cameras and having the ability to film the police is so that you have evidence. If you've watched the show for a while, you know that I'm a big believer that we need to have more video evidence, that we need to hold police officers accountable, but this puts them at a disadvantage. Let's say someone decides to throw a giant rock or decides to shoot at a cop. Oh, 1 second, let me turn my camera on. And if there's anyone out there that should actually find this ridiculous, I would think it would be the ACLU. Right on aclu.org in a post that's titled Police Body Mounted Cameras. With right policies in place, a win for all. They write, perhaps most importantly, policies and technology must be designed to ensure that police cannot edit on the fly, i.e. choose which encounters to record with limitless discretion. If police are free to turn the cameras on and off as they please, the camera's role in providing a check and balance against police power will shrink and they will no longer become a net benefit. Purely from an accountability perspective, the ideal policy for body-worn cameras would be for continuous recording throughout a police officer's shift, eliminating any possibility that an officer could evade the recording of abuses committed on duty. Now, to their credit, they do say that this is thorny, but go back to say, if the cameras do not record continuously, that would place them under officer control, which allows them to be manipulated by some officers, undermining their core purpose of detecting police misconduct, which is also, I would argue, the same problem with only allowing other people to record the police. In my opinion, this needs to be a two-way street, and I find this situation ridiculous. But like I say, this is the Philip DeFranco Show. It is my opinion. I'd love to know what you think. And that's actually where I'm gonna end today's show. And remember, if you like this video, you like what I do on this channel, hit that like button. If you're new here, hit that subscribe button. Also, if you missed yesterday's Philip DeFranco Show, you can click or tap right there to watch it. If you want to watch the new DeFranco fan vlog, click or tap right there. I believe I found my son's new favorite thing. But that said, of course, as always, my name's Philip DeFranco. You've just been filled in. I love yo faces, and I'll see you tomorrow.